Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to A Drink with Crazy. What's going on, everybody? Yeah, I might regret the title. I've let you guys control the show before. It's all right. What's going on, Mario Trujillo? Only you. Thank you guys for showing up, as always. Share this out for me if you guys feel the need. YouTube loves when you share it, especially when you leave like the whole link. Oh, YouTube loves that. What's going on, everybody? No, yeah, I did not prepare to do a show, and I completely have not scheduled any guests for November because I just got really behind on scheduling my own show. Anyway, Mario Trujillo, member for 23 months, almost 2 years. Oh my gosh. Oh, we're coming up to your 2-year anniversary. That's awesome. Did you have a good Halloween with the family? Kids went out trick-or-treating. Wife was out of town for a wedding. Kids went out trick-or-treating. Honestly, it was just kind of chill. You know, kids got to hang out with their friends and all that, so that was super awesome. And I love that we live in an area that they can go trick-or-treating and they can just have a good time. It's great. I love living where I do. I love living in a small town in the Midwest where my kids get to grow up and actually do kid stuff. It's awesome. So awesome. They get to go to the park and it's crazy. It's insane. I realize that I am the type of person, because I'll see comments and stuff. There was a comment in the Discord this last weekend. It was like, oh, trunk or treat just ruined, ruined trick-or-treating for the modern generation. It's just stolen something from this, that, and the other thing. And I'm like, yeah, but I live in an area where, you know, you can, of course, your wife knows someone who got married on Halloween. They did not get married on Halloween. They got married on, they got married on Saturday. I think they did all the wedding rehearsal and dinner and stuff the night before, though. But no, it was her sister. Her sister got married. My sister-in-law got married this weekend to a wonderful guy, by the way. He's a super good dude. Super good dude. Could not be more happy for them. I'm so happy. But because we have animals and stuff to take care of, it's really hard for us to take a whole family, not only that, but like venues are really worried right now. So venues have like a no kids policy, because things have gotten damaged and it's just a whole thing. So it was just a situation where it's like, Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead then. Yes, the Day of the Dead, also known as, All Saints Day. Yeah. All Saints Day, All Souls Day. Oh my God, I'm a bad Catholic. I don't remember my feast days. Anyway, let's move on past that, because I'm gonna know it was a wonderful weekend. It was a wonderful weekend. I fired up the smoker multiple times. I made a white chicken chili that I saw from a YouTube channel that I love to follow called Meat Church. They do some awesome recipes for like smokers. And here's the cool part. All of their recipes that they do, you can basically make like in your house with just like an oven if you don't have a smoker. But just great resource for recipes. I also made some awesome chicken burritos. Yeah, I fired up the smoker. It's been traditional that the last few years I've had the smokers. Thanksgiving is about the last time that I smoke any sort of meats, because temperatures are getting cold, and I've sat out all night and smoked turkey on Thanksgiving before, and let me tell you, it gets a little bit chilly. The tootsies on my feet don't feel good in the cold, because my feet freeze in the cold. I hate the cold. What's going on, the pineappler? Howdy. God bless the newlyweds. Absolutely, I agree. So I legitimately, I did not prepare this week. I was running around with the kids. Usually, like, what I'll do is I'll find stories and stuff, and I'll find some things. And then, like, today at work, I was busy. I was writing policy and new training stuff to put out every week. So a very, very productive day. A lot of Google searching. My job is a lot of Google searching and writing and copy pasting and like reorganizing things and making sure that we've got good training programs for work and making sure that we've got good policies and stuff. So that was just my day. I literally had no time to prepare And yeah, so that's just where I'm at. So that's why the chat gets to control. And I have a video here from Clownfish TV. I have not watched a Clownfish TV video in a hot minute. And here's the thing. It's not necessarily because I don't like Clownfish TV. I would love to get Neon on an interview. I want to get Neon on an interview. I actually would say that their Shadowbinders books are some of the, I love the Shadowbinders books. They're so freaking good. Crimson Wren, fantastic character. I love Clownfish TV. I haven't watched him in a hot minute because a lot of times after you've watched somebody for years and they kind of cover a specific topic, you're like, oh, I've definitely heard them say this before. And that's why I fell off of a lot of creators. Because I've heard you say this before. The IP that's now getting destroyed by, modern political BS. It's just change IP name. But I've seen this video 5-6 years ago. But I got recommended a video from Clownfish TV about the GTA 6 devs from Rockstar getting fired. So they fired their union employees. Good for you. I don't like unions. I'm not a fan of unions. I don't. Hey, guys, can we just in the chat? Are you union fans or not? If you're union fans, I may or may not ban you. Maybe. I don't know. But so we're gonna check that out, and then at this point, it's up to you guys. Like, are there articles? Like, what are anything? I don't care. I want to know what you guys are caring about. If you guys just want to wear thick socks. Yeah, I do wear thick socks. It doesn't help. My feet freeze instantly. Like it's probably bad circulation. I think that's what it is. It's yeah. So I do thick socks and I get the thickest insulated boots that I can. And oftentimes it still doesn't help. My feet will not stay warm. To the point where years and years ago, so when I was 19, almost 20, I was working for an oil field company, working in a chemical warehouse, steel toe boots in the wintertime, do not recommend. I got home, pulled my socks off and my boots and everything. And the side of my right foot from my pinky toe up to my ankle was a light purple. I had begun the stages of frostbite. Thank God I did not actually get frostbite. But my feet warming up hurt so much. I was like, never doing this again. Never doing this again. Ever not doing it. Unions are for commies and mod sips. Yeah. Well, so here's where I'm at. Back in the day, working conditions were really, really bad. Back you want to know why unions are. Look at what Henry Ford did. Look at Henry Ford, Carnegie, Rockefeller. They treated their workers like absolute garbage. And I think at one point in time, a collective bargaining amongst the workers, which was workers deciding they were going to come together and say, hey, we ain't going to work here if you're not going to start treating us bad. I think that was good. Since then, though, we obviously have laws on the books that say you can't treat workers like that. So unions, all they are is just a racket for making money now. It's not like that's all they are. They're a racket for making money, and they're a racket for taking your money and oftentimes putting your money in the pockets of people that you don't agree with politically. And I just don't like unions. I'm not a fan of them. I've heard there are some good unions out there. That's fine. That actually work for their people. Most unions simply just take your money and send it to places that you don't want, and they don't really fight for their workers, and they're just garbage. If they actually functioned in the modern day the way that they should, I would have less of a problem with them. But yeah, they're for commies and mod sims. Absolutely. And they protect lazy workers too. It's absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, if you guys have any stories that you want me to check out, type it down in the chat, or if you got anything you want me to hear. But let's get into this video. Hopefully it doesn't just autoplay. Oh, wonderful. It's not going to autoplay. All right. And I got to go over here and I got to press that button. And then we're going to go back over here. So from Clownfish TV, let me know if the audio is jacked, please. Please. I have it. I've already got it lowered, but let me know.
Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am
Neon.
Not here with Geeky Sparkles. She's out and about today. We're going to talk about Grand Theft
My wife is also out and about today, Neon. I feel it.
Auto 6. Rockstar Games and video game unions.
Yes.
And I know unionization has been a huge talking point in the video game industry over the last couple of years.
Well, yeah, because they don't want to lose their jobs because they kind of suck at their jobs. Where is the thing for the chair? There it is. Found it. Found the lever for that.
I believe it is.
Of course, unionization is a thing because all these people are on a lot of people are on the chopping block because, well, they haven't been producing good things. It's not hard. And then when they go, oh, crap, I'm going to lose my job because I either suck at it or my team sucked at it or we haven't produced enough money for the company, we're going to get cut. What do? Well, let's go for a union because, again, unions protect the lazy people. Can we say it again? Chat, repeat after me. Unions protect lazy people. Say it in the chat. I want to see it. I want to see it.
Is an effort to try and shore up your defense.
Okay, MRIs are incredibly expensive, and I work an office job nowadays, so my feet don't get very cold very often anymore. I don't have to be out in the cold like a lot of my guys do, but yeah.
This is against...
No, you're part of my... You're not a SEAL, you're part of my chat. Just play along. Share the stream, please.
Playoffs, and a lot of these people know they're going to get laid off, so they're trying to make sure they get a severance package, good severance package, and or they don't get gone as quickly because all these companies are laying people off, right? And unions back in the day were originally about making sure workers had better working conditions and decent.
Well, and by working conditions too, if you know Carnegie and his steel plants that he had going up, they didn't even have like hot gloves for handling molten steel. And they could have, but Carnegie specifically chose not to. And it was his right-hand man, forget his name. Yeah, it was just like, hey, so we're using molten steel and it bubbles and it splatters at us. Can you pay some money to give us stuff so we don't get molten steel splatter? And the answer was no. And that's why a lot of unions, really started. And there were some unions that started like in New York and stuff like that. There were some unions that started specifically to keep Southern black workers out of the market, right? And that was a thing. The Cato Institute wrote a fantastic article about that. They called it the racist roots of like the unions. But go look up the Cato Institute. Really, really interesting article. But that is just one facet of it. That's not the whole story of it, right?
And pay and, that the employers are not abusing them and all that. In recent years, white-collar workers have unionized, again, I believe, to make sure that they have job security.
Well, of course they would.
Or in the worst cases. And some
they were not even allowed to buy their own... whoa, hold on, wait. He refused to even let them buy their own protection gear. No, that's new information to me. Wait, seriously? He wouldn't even let them buy their own? Oh, I didn't. Like, I read that real quick, and my brain was like, yeah, I feel like I've heard that. And then my brain was like, whoa, hold on, stop. Because sometimes my thoughts get crossed, and I'm like, I remember things from different time. He didn't even let them buy their own protective gear? Oh, dude was a monster. Oh, dude, Carnegie and Rockefeller. So there's a channel. Go check out Magnates Media. He does these fantastic documentaries on Rockefeller and Carnegie. Those guys were the titans of they were ruthless. I half respect them and I half hate them because they were just, this is what we're gonna do and we're gonna make money, but also at the same time at the cost of like human life. And it's just like, okay, I can't really respect. Oh man, he wouldn't even let them buy their own protective gear. That's nuts.
The most egregious cases, it's been to try to dictate the content that the studio produces. We saw this with Image Comics. We saw this with the first attempt at the Kickstarter union that they wanted a chance to be.
Oh, okay, potentially. Let's push back on this point here. I don't think these workers who are unionizing are the workers who are unionizing don't pull the strings of what gets decided to be put in the game. So I'm going to say no on that one. Generally, the people who are going to get laid off are the lower wage workers that are like, you're the cog in the machine. You do what you're told. You don't question it. The people who are making the decisions to add a lot of the political chicanery and modern day politics into the game, like, well, real world politics, right? Because people are like, oh, politics has always been, real world politics, and using allegory for real world politics. Those people are usually at the top and they're getting paid very well. And those are usually the last to get laid off and the ones making the decisions for that. So I disagree with Neon here that they're trying to unionize to keep the politics in the games, because the people who make those decisions to keep politics in the games aren't the people that usually get laid off.
What the company produced, and that is outside of a union's purview, in my opinion. But a lot of these companies have become more and more anti-union. A lot of times they'll allow the union to happen, and then they'll find a way to get rid of them later.
That's super interesting.
See also some of these news outlets, I think it's like Gizmodo or Geo Media or whatever, they're like, yeah, we'll just sell the company off. You guys can unionize, but we're going to look for a buyer, and then we're just going to sell all you off, and they can figure out what to do with you.
Yeah, that's typical.
So it does kind of.
How is the audio,
in some
guys?
ways, it buys
How
you
is the
time.
audio?
I
Am
think
I loud?
in
Is
other
he
ways.
loud? What's going on? How is the audio?
It hastens the inevitable, or it makes you more likely to be terminated. And in this case, Rockstar Games apparently fired a bunch of people that they thought.
Fired a bunch of people, and it says right here, 30 to 40 employees. You know what? Let's do this real quick. Let's go. I want to find out. Because a bunch is a what is that? I believe qualitative term. So let's do here. How many employees work at Rockstar Games? Rockstar Games. Oh, he's just showing results. Rockstar Games has approximately 6,500 employees. They did not lay off a bunch of people. Six continents, including North America, Europe, and Asia. This figure aligns with reports indicating workforce around 6,000 employees and other estimates from 57. I'm sorry. What? Okay. Whoa. Okay. Why is this even a story? So they cut 30 to 40 people, which is less than 1% of their workforce. And this is a story? Wait, why? What? At least a fourth of them are contract workers. So yeah, contracts run out and you just don't renew the Why is this even a story? Why are we what? Okay, I went from oh hey, they fired the union people. That's a fun thing. They fired between 30 to 40 employees. Well, crap. Well, if they only have 100 people, 30 to 40 employees, that's a bunch of people. Shit, if they had 400 people, I would say that qualifies a bunch of people. You're reporting on 30 to 40 people getting laid off when the company is estimated around 6,500, which is what, less than 0.5%? What? Come on, that's not even a story. If they're laying off a bunch of people, I would say that needs to be like 10% of the company, right? What's your guys' percentage of a company that would qualify the colloquial term a bunch? A bunch of people get laid off. For me, I'm like 10%. If you're laying off 10% of the company, that's a bunch of people. Maybe 5%. What do you guys think? That's where I can't believe this is even a story. What? It took me, you guys saw it on stream. It took me 10 seconds to figure this out. This is, oh my God, dude, was it just a slow news week? Has it just been a slow news week? Oh my God. Rockstar laid off 0.03% of their company. This is massive. But, I mean, the big game they've been working on for like 10 years is almost done. Do they need all those people working there? This is why I stopped following a lot of people. Can we please critically think about the stuff that we're reporting on and the stuff that you choose to do YouTube videos about? This is why I don't do a ton of YouTube videos anymore, because there's a bunch of stuff where people are like, hey, by the way, did you hear this thing? And I'm like, yeah, I did. I also did a quick search and a couple of things and actually looked into it and found out it's not worth doing a video on because it's a nothing burger. But then if I go on and here's the counter side of that is if I go on and I say all of the people reporting on this are they're either lying or they're inflating the value of the issue just to get clicks. Now I no longer become a channel who just likes to talk about the fun stuff with my chat. I now become the channel who is literally just attacking all of these YouTubers because I'm like, you can't even do, like, this is your day job. This is your job. Can you, how many people were getting, like, I don't even type good. I fucking chicken peck, and it took me 10 seconds to find out that 30 to 40 people getting laid off from a company of 6,500 people it's a nothing burger. Why is this even a YouTube video? So go, and you know what? And you know what it is, and he kind of already said it. He said that the people getting laid off are the people making the political. We're going to fire the wokies. No, because the people that make the decision to put that crap in the game are not the people that are unionizing to try to save their jobs. Like, and then I just become the guy. And here's the problem. I love a lot of these channels. I love these people. I followed their stuff. I bought their books. But now I'm sitting here going, Neon, did you not do the chicken pecking, the chicken peck typing on the computer? For 4 seconds, I don't even use Google. I use Brave browser. Like, to just verify if this is actually something to make a freaking video about. Like, probably started out as a Rockstar office was closing and the grapevine made it seem like a bigger deal. Did he just turn an angry Frenchman for a second? Whoa, first of all, just because I have French lineage, okay, does not make me an angry Frenchman. How dare you? I'm way better than the French. Way better. But I'm like a lot of French. Like, I'm not going to lie. I'm like, yeah, Michael Sandin came over in the late 1700s as a notary from France. Yeah. Anyway, I just, oh, this segment is turning. Okay, this is why I stopped following. So do you guys remember the video I put out a while ago and it says why I stopped following like anti-woke YouTubers? Now, I used that specifically because there were a lot of people out there who would not search into things. And I gave a list of examples in that. I gave a list of examples of people would not be searching stuff. And there were videos that I'm like, oh my gosh, like this person said this thing. I'm going to research that. I'm going to pull up all the data. I'm going to find this thing and I'm going to, yeah, let's go. And then I start searching and I go, oh, they're just lying. or, oh, they just didn't do the research. There's context here that they just took this thing on the surface value, and there's context here that is Royce going all Carnegie again. Oh, dude, both respect and don't like that guy, but we won't get back into that. But this is why I stopped following a lot of the YouTubers that I followed for a long time. And it's because of videos like this, because the topic interests me. They're firing people. And I'm like, why are they firing people? Well, and then you start to dig into how many people are they firing? What are they doing? They're firing less than a fraction of a percent of their staff, probably because they've got a big game that doesn't need to be worked on anymore. And people are making the articles about it. Like, it's got to be a slow news week. Or a couple of my favorite ones. There was one that really, really bothered me. Oh God, what is his name? I think he's the guy. Does he do like the woke games detected or DEI detected? He made this post and he was like, the Game Awards hate masculinity so much that they pretended that Black Myth Wukong and Space Marines 2 didn't exist. And he shows this screenshot and Black Myth for Game of the Year awards, and those games are not there. And I'm like, oh, the Game Awards pretended a few games didn't exist because they hate masculinity so much. And I'm like, ooh, I'm going to go. So I went to the Game Awards website, and you know what? I scrolled and you got to go through, and I went through all of the different categories. And I went past Black Myth Wukong and Space Marines 2 multiple times. Or no, one of them only got nominated once and the other got nominated twice, and I don't remember. But I was like, wait a minute. They didn't pretend they don't exist. They just didn't put them up for Game of the Year, which could be summed up to difference of opinion. And if you actually watched reviews of the games or I played Space Marines 2, fun game, good game, great to hang out with the buddies, not Game of the Year material. And it's just crap like that. It's just like there's this contextual stuff that they leave out. And they are hoping that you, the viewer, don't go and do a Brave browser search on it. And I say Brave browser because I like Brave browser. I think I actually find a lot more on Brave browser than I do on Google. And I'm like, how can you be so disingenuous to your audience that you're just going to say this stuff and hope that they don't go out and search it? And you know what? They're relying on the fact that people out there don't have the time. Well, guess what? I make time. And I started making enough time that I stopped following a lot of the accounts. It's not because my political opinions have changed. I'm more right-wing than any of these guys. If I said my actual political opinions online, one, it would piss a lot of right-wingers off. Because, and you've heard me say this, Trump is the only Democrat who was smart enough to get Republicans to vote for him. Oh, my mother hates when I say that, by the way. Right? I am very much, I'm so right-wing, I homeschool my kids, right? That's pretty right-wing. I'm so right-wing that if I had the money, and I'm trying to figure it out, my wife and I would do a homestead. Dead serious. But one of the reasons I don't follow a lot of the culturally right channels anymore is because when I started digging into the things that they were saying, they were leaving out information you could find for yourself in seconds, hoping that you, the viewer, are just woefully stupid. You're sheeple. And it bothered me so badly. One of the ones, and this was on a live stream, and it made me so sad, and I probably need to reach out again and just have a conversation because it did bother me. But I will never forget being on Night's Watch, and Shad says that the Game Awards are trying to trademark the Game Awards to shut down Stuttering Craig. And I was like, okay, that's a really big claim, Shad. And Shad, he does the performative thing, and he gets, and I'm like, hold on, whoa, wait a second, wait, hold on, that's a big claim, dude. And he was like, yeah, and advertised it like as this segment that he wanted to do. And I didn't know what he was going to talk about. And so I'm like, all right, hold on. I'm like, please go find where Stuttering Craig first announces that he's going to do his Real Gamer Awards. And I'm going to go find when the trademark was filed. Now, depending on those timelines, we can figure out somewhat of the truth here. So I go back, I find out, and it took me, again, 10 seconds because I just go to the U.S. Trademark Office, like ustrademark.gov or whatever I went to found the trademark, and it was filed in January. Now, Stuttering Craig had not made his announcement of these game awards until like March or like late March or something like that. So there's a 2.5 month gap there. And I'm like, okay. And Shad was like, well, I think you might have said something before that. I'm like, okay, cool. If you can find that, we can get some evidence that they might feel threatened by this YouTuber. And Shad was like, well, he's like, I didn't even want to talk about that anyway. Anyway, here's this other thing. And that right there, when Shad was like, I didn't really want to talk about this anyway, because I was like, I don't think, I didn't like that. I didn't like that Shad didn't want to have like, he announced this thing on his channel to his audience that's following him. And I'm like, had I not been there, a lot of his audience may have just believed that. But I pushed back a little bit and I was like, dude, we can't just say stuff. And instead of being like, oh, let's have a broader conversation about why we're saying this thing, why we're getting emotionally invested into this, why the fucking minute of research that I did by going to the U.S. Trademark Office website, like, wasn't done, and why these things are being said. He just goes, I didn't want to talk about that anyway. I'm like, but you brought it up, Shad. And that breaks my heart because I love Shad M. Brooks to death. Shad, like, you have no idea. Shad coming onto my channel years ago, helping the live stream, being a genuinely good person to me. And that was a conversation we had live, and you'll see me, dude, I just kind of shut down after that. Because I didn't want to believe that this good person that I know, and I know he's a good dad, and I know he's just trying to do his best out there, but that he would just say something. And then when I provided a little bit of evidence to the contrary, it felt like he just blew it off. I didn't like that. And you'll see, I just kind of stopped going on the show after that. Because I was like, what am I doing here? What am I and again, I started seeing a lot of that with a lot of the YouTubers I used to watch. A couple that I still watch. I still tune into Eric July here and there, especially when he does political rants, because I'm very, very much aligned politically with him. I still watch almost every one of Razorfist's video and a lot of his live streams too, especially if he's like live streaming a game or something, or if he's doing political conversation. I think Razorfist is on point when it comes to political stuff. And but those are about the only two that I really watch. And it just got to this point where I was like, I can't keep dedicating my time to people when this is their day job. This is what they do. And they can't, like, I don't have a 40-hour-a-week job. I work 50 hours a week. I have a wife and kids. I have chores that I'm doing. We have animals to take care of. I have fucking beer to drink, which is low on that totem pole. I have food to cook. And yet I'm still able to search these things out and disprove it. So do then and I absolutely believe in keeping like your house in order, but do I then become the guy that's like, especially on the internet, that's like, look, my side of the aisle is presenting information in a way that they shouldn't be presenting it in. Do I take that on? I seriously question that. Trust me, you ain't going to make friends that way at all. You're going to make a lot of enemies. And it was hard for me. Like I thought about when why I stopped following anti-woke YouTubers. And I use anti-woke because that's what a lot of them were. And I thought about that video for a month. for a month. That was my first video. I was thinking about that video. I was building my smoker, my new smoker that I built this last year, my 250 gallon. And while I'm building that thing, I'm thinking about that video, why I stopped following a lot of people that I felt like I don't follow the Night's Watch channel anymore. I do still tune into some of Shad's videos on his main channel, Shadiversity, here and there. But yeah, and to go. The goats actually live at a new house, and they're doing wonderful. Matilda, the female, is probably pregnant. She might be having little goat babies. I want Royce to dye the wig pink. Not going to happen. I find it hysterical that most people that don't know Trump was a longtime Democrat. Yeah! That being said, the options we had for president in 2024 weren't exactly ideal. I don't disagree with you. But if I'm only going to be given the option to vote for the lesser of two evils anymore, I just don't even know if I want to vote anymore. What's the phrase? If you're lukewarm, I will spew you from my mouth. Is voting for the lesser, and I asked myself this question, is voting for the lesser of two evils, does that make you lukewarm? I ask myself that question a lot. And that's why I don't think I'm going to go. It's why Mario Trujillo says it's why I don't like John De La Rose. For some reason, he has an axe to grind against Larry Correa. I don't know who that and tends to exaggerate on his reports. John's always been cool with me. John's always been cool with me. I just a lot, but he, a lot of his stuff. On his website that he's putting in, like the reports that he was putting out, like you go and you research some of it and you're just like, oh, okay, this is definitely emotionally motivated. Still love John to death. I got his phone number. I can call John De La Rose right now. Love John. Good guy. He really, but at the same time too, it's like I'm selective with who I listen to anymore. He cut me off in traffic. First of all, evidence required. Second of all, that would be hilarious. Like you have the dash cam and you're just like, and it's just like John just driving past you, just looking at you, and your dash cam catches it, and you're just like, oh my God, this YouTuber that I follow just cut me off. That would be great. No, again, it's why I stopped following a lot of people. And it sucks. It sucks because it's very easy to build an audience when you're just saying the non-offensive stuff to one side, right? When you're saying whatever the one side believes, you just say that. I can't do that. I could, but I don't want to do that because I don't raise my kids that way. I don't raise my children that way. It bothers me. It bothers me deeply to just go along with the one side. That's why when I put that, I was doing a live stream and I think it was Andrew Rowland? It was Andrew Rowland who had said that like the Charlie Kirk assassination woke him up. And I just lost my shit. I was like, wait, that woke you up? And I went through a list of stuff that the federal government has done, a list of stuff of things that have been going on in the culture war and things that have been going on politically for the last 25 years. I went back. And I was like, where have you been? And I try to show people try to show my mother, be like, hey, by the way, it's very concerning that Trump seems to be doing a lot of like insider trading stuff when it comes to cryptocurrency. And this is concerning. You try to tell people that insider trading is happening on the right, like with Marjorie Taylor Greene, Dan Crenshaw. I mean, if you go look at their stocks, I mean, it's wild. They're doing the Nancy Pelosi thing, right? And people don't want to hear it. And then my mom sends me the mayor from New York, and she goes, I'm more afraid of this guy than I am Trump. And I just told my mom, I was like, that Mom Donnie guy or whatever. I was like, Mom, that guy is an outright communist. I was like, but Trump is a 90s era progressive. I don't agree with 90s era progressives either. But like, how do I make YouTube content, and how do I talk with people and talk with my audience and grow the channel when I am literally so far fucking like away politically from what most people are, that it you know, it's like there's nobody there's like no faction that I fit into perfectly. And it's very hard to make YouTube content and grow like that. Stick to single issues, stick to the notes, but but again, it's tough. And I've done a lot of thinking about this over the last year or two. You know, once you understand that success on YouTube depends on being a parasite on recent drama, du jour. You'll understand how useless this platform this is. No, because that's not true, because I follow a ton of creators right now that are super freaking awesome. Fat Electrician, great World War II history videos, definitely believes what we do. He's also got a secondary channel called The Fat Files. Check out Magnates Media, does awesome work. Magnates Media is so great at business history and business documentaries. One of my new favorites, like the Last Supper crime documentaries. He does the most amazing videos about 1920s, 1930s gangsters, mobsters, how the mafia was created. He just did one talking about Operation Underworld, which was a World War II operation that worked with the mafia to help get into Sicily. Oh my God, absolutely incredible. Oompaville does some great things about like conspiracy theories. His personality's a little whack for me, but you know, I still like watching Oompaville. He's very, very fun to watch. The Unsubscribed podcast, they do a great job. They're a comedy podcast and they get into the weeds a little bit here and there. It's not about, it's not about just being like, oh, you've got to just do this schlep. It's like, no, I mean, there are so many fantastic channels out there. I think people get started. Believe it or not, one of the best people I think to watch, if you're wanting to break out of what YouTube has you in, right? Go watch Asmongold. And people, I can't stand Asmongold. His opinion, yes, guys, he's got stupid opinions. He's also got some opinions that I like. But you know what he does better than most people? He reacts to everything. And you know, I have found so many channels I otherwise would not have found that have broken me out of my YouTube mold that I was in because I watched the guy, because I watched somebody who exposes you to new content creators. Same exact thing with the Unsubscribed podcast. The Unsubscribed podcast will expose you to people that you otherwise may not have been exposed to. And it's so freaking good. And I advocate finding creators like that. The Critical Dragon is a great channel for writers. See, right there, right? Deciding on what is the best option versus a lesser evil is a hard choice for a child of Christ. God bless everyone in the chat. Yeah, it is tough. It is tough. It really is. You're right. And again, I had to stop following a lot of these people because, one, I've heard their opinions 5,000 times in videos before. I've been following a lot of these people since like The Last Jedi, came out. And I mean, Asmongold is boring. I mean, if you think, I mean, I think it's fun sometimes. Sometimes I'm just like, I don't care about this topic. But like one of my favorite YouTubers that I watch now, Legendary Drops. Legendary Drops is one of the best gaming YouTubers out there. He talks about the gaming industry, the problems with the industry, the lack of creativity in the industry, what they're doing wrong, highlights games that are doing good. Oh my gosh, dude. Legendary Drops is a freaking G. And I watch him I watch his Friday live streams. I usually wait until like on Saturdays when I'm doing like mowing the lawn or something. I listen to his live stream he does on Fridays. I mean, the other thing, like Habitual Line Crosser doing like the maps. Oh my gosh, dude, Habitual Line Crosser just geopolitical humor, like modern day geopolitical humor. It's so funny. Like there's so many good people on YouTube that you would never know that they're there because YouTube does silo you. But it's, you know, I mean, Asmon's pretty insightful. On some things, yeah. I think Asmon's just I mean, he is the epitome of just like Asmon's the epitome of just like a normie, like when it comes politically. Gaming content's super fun to listen. Like, I like listening to a lot of that. But yeah, I like watching people recover vehicles with wreckers, tow trucks, and rotators. Oh my goodness, dude, that's wild. But it's just one of those things. It's just one of those things. It's like I started going, I need to get away from the content creators that I'm following, because as I research this stuff, I'll have to check out our Triple Dragon. Most author channels are absolutely useless. Yeah, that's probably true too. But yeah, when you start doing research and you start going, oh, like I was going to sit here and I was going to react to this 17-minute video from Clownfish TV. But at this point, I'm like, I don't think I want to, because he goes, they fired a bunch of people. It was on the screen, 30 to 40 employees. Okay, a bunch. Colloquially, a bunch means a large portion of, right? Colloquially speaking, not definitionally. And yeah, it's one of those things that and then you find out that Rockstar has 6,500 employees, and you're like, oh, 30 to 40 people isn't even, it's not even a percent. Why is this a story? It's not. It's not a story. Now, if it was Rockstar fired 1,000 people, okay, why did that happen? That seems like it's more than a drop in a bucket there. It's more than a drop in the bucket there, eh, Bob? And but yeah, it just, it's like, unless you follow the talking point, because you can gain people very easily with a lot of the talking points. And I'm I'm the type of person that is like, okay, if I've said the talking point enough, do I need to keep saying it again and again and again? And I get tired of that. I'm always looking for new. I'm always looking to advance my knowledge. And if you're not advancing my knowledge on a subject, and I've been watching you since 2016, I'm probably not going to watch your content anymore. And it may be nothing less than I've heard what you've had to say about this before, about different companies and stuff like that. Do I really need to listen to it again? Answer for me? No, not really. It's been out there. It's already out there. Find a new way to attack the topic that you're looking to attack. And that's one of the reasons that I think that I think a lot of the channels that have been around for a long time are losing relevance. Is just because if you've been there for a while, you know what the arguments are. Your stuff has been shared. Yeah, whoa, we're almost an hour in. Oh my God, are we really? Oh my goodness, yeah, we are. Well, I hope you guys are having fun with the conversation. I do. And I hope I'm giving you guys some thinky stuff to think later, because I think it's important. But yeah, if people constantly share, they're like, oh, this guy, I'm like, I don't watch him anymore. And they're like, well, this was a good video. And sometimes I'm like, all right, and I'll click on it and I'll be like, oh no, I'm like, it's not a good video. He's saying the exact same thing that he said for the however many years I followed him. There's no new information here. It's only a good video because it's emotionally driving you. It's amping you up. And I'm like, if you can't temper yourself emotionally, like, that's a dangerous thing. For instance, something that I teach my son, you guys have heard me probably say this before. I teach my son two things. One, when my son gets emotional and he wants to tear up and he wants to cry over something, I teach him, I'm like, hey, your tears are important, boy. You don't shed your tears for non-important moments, right? Somebody dies, okay? That's a big one, right? A very big thing is happening in your life. A tragic thing is happening in your life. Other people are getting hurt. Maybe you lose your job. Maybe you lose your sense of self because hard moments come. Your tears are important, right? It's a valuable currency, and you don't shed those tears when you don't need to spend them, right? Because that devalues you as a person. But you are allowed to shed those tears. The second thing you're not allowed to do is you're not allowed to get angry at everything, right? Anger needs to be reserved for the moments when men need to be men, right? And if you're the type of person that goes and flies off the handle and you're getting angry all the time, you're just as weak and just as soft as the men who cry at everything, because you do not emotionally temper yourself. And as I'm teaching my son this, I'm seeing all of these YouTubers just do the same titles that are only there to get you emotionally enraged, emotionally angry. They are manipulative in that sense, and that's not their fault. That's human nature. They say, well, the algorithm. No, they built the algorithm around what we clicked on. And guess what? For a lot of years, people clicked on, it's so funny. Everybody says that Facebook is such a garbage platform, but yet because I know that the algorithms will tune themselves to what I tell it to do, because I know that I get to control it. Guess what? My algorithm on Facebook's freaking great. I go watch Facebook Reels and I get a mix of awesome talks about Christianity and godliness, as well as some construction worker funny stuff. And then I get puppies that show up I get oh my gosh, I get Bernese Mountain Dog puppies showing up in my timeline. And and then I get some dirty jokes here and there and some fun jokes here and there. And then, we're going to wind back, to, Christian apologetics and some political stuff here and there. My algorithm on Facebook is fucking fantastic because I know how it works and I don't give in to my emotions. And oftentimes what I've seen when people send me a thing and they go, this is a great video, I watch the video and I go, that wasn't a good video. That provided no new information that's been out for the last 10 years. All it was there to do was to give the talking points and to get people to go, yeah, you said the thing I like. And I'm like, that's not a good video. You were no more educated watching this video than you before you watched it. And that's why I stopped watching a lot of the YouTubers that I did. Right. Kathleen Kennedy wants you dead, right? Yeah, it's crap like that. I highly recommend it. Oh, yeah. Okay, sorry, you're talking to people. Sorry, didn't mean to butt into your conversation, chat. My bad. I was just trying to catch up. Yeah. But I hope that makes a lot of sense for people, and that's why I backed off a lot of the content creation stuff, is because I don't know how to talk about the things that I want to talk about. And I don't know if there's a lot of an audience out there for the stuff that I want to talk about. One of the things I do want to make a video on is the absolute lies that people believe about why we have daylight savings time. Because if you don't know, daylight savings time just got over. My kids were asking about it this weekend. They're like, Dad, why is this thing? It's like, we got to turn the clocks back. And they're like, okay, why? I'm like, well, if anybody ever tells you it's because of the farmers, they're stupid. Do not listen to them. I called them retarded because they are. They're retarded. If you believe that daylight savings time was for farmers, you've never met a fucking farmer in your life. And no. It was actually because we had coal and whale oil shortages. That's why it got passed and ratified, because we had coal and whale oil shortages. And instead, and what was happening is that businesses were starting the day before the sun was coming up and burning the candlelight after the sun went down. So in an attempt to help conserve energy at the time, because we were under a bit of an energy crisis, the federal government was like, hey, we're going to pass this thing. It's called daylight savings time. Everybody change your clocks. We're going to do it twice a year. That's going to help us burn less whales, and it's going to help us burn less coal. And that's why we have daylight savings time. But if you ask me, it's for the farmers. It was the farmers care about what the clock says, so that way they know when to go to work. A farmer's never given two fiddlers fucks about a clock. A farmer knows he's got to wake up early in the morning and go to bed late at night and do it all over again. It's just this crap that people believe because people are just intellectually lazy. And there was a point in time when people were like, if we could just give access to the information that the world has, everybody will be so much smarter. God, we were dumb. Because have you ever met a lazy person at work that doesn't want to work? Yeah, guess what? There are people who are lazy intellectually. They don't want to learn. They don't give a fuck about learning. Why would I do that? I'm worried about my nephew. His mother has an uphill climb, and a mother is a boy's first retaliation with women. Huh? What do you mean? I'm unfamiliar with the thing that you're saying, but yeah, it just, I'd love to do stuff like that. I would love to, I would also love to do a video. Oh, tell me how this one. I would love to do a video how capitalism in America died in 1913. For those of you who know, you know. There are two things that happened in 1913. It's also why, although lauded as one of the best presidents of the country ever, something happened in 1913 that I really don't like Teddy Roosevelt for. And before you go, Teddy Roosevelt wasn't president. No, but there was something that got ratified in 1913 that Roosevelt, Wilson, and Taft were all very big proponents of. Do you know? Do you know what it is? Relationship. You two. Relationship. Oh, boy's first relationship with women. Gotcha. I was like, YouTube autocorrected me. I don't know if it's YouTube. I think everything's got an autocorrect. But yeah, I'd love to do a video on that. I'd love to do a video about the lies of, just stupid things like that. And I'd have to start another channel, and I'd put some time, effort, and energy. Well, more time, effort, and energy than I currently have to post those videos. But yeah. Public parks. Public parks was a good thing, but but no. It's things and stuff and whatnots. And is a long tangent. It's why is a long tangent, but I've thought about all this. I've thought about what would be interesting to talk about, Thought about doing YouTube shorts about tinnitus and what it's like to have it, but make it humorous. Oh, not just taxes. What, out of curiosity, what federal bureaucracy was created in December of 1913? Do you know? Because if you look it up, in December of 1913, a federal bureaucracy was created. The same year that the 16th Amendment was passed. No, not the FBI. I'll give you a hint. It's technically not a part of the federal government. There are two entities that are not a part of the federal. The Federal Reserve. There you go. Jersey James got it. Yes. The 16th Amendment and the Federal Reserve were created in 1913. Only 10 months apart from each other. And that's why capitalism has been dead in America for more than 100 years. We don't have a capitalistic system. We don't. Hi, Maji-chan. Yeah, it just, again, do I fire up another YouTube channel and start doing videos like that? Maybe. I don't know. I have to sit down, get a set. I'd want to do it in a different background than this here. Get a couple of camera angles, do some fun stuff. I was not talking politics. I was talking economics. Very big difference. Some politics, a little bit. I did start watching that clownfish video that you sent, and that led into a very, very long rant because I made it 2 minutes. I made it 2 minutes and then yeah. But anyway, what else is on the brains of all of you fine folks this week? I'm going to leave it over here on this screen because we're going to go on that screen. What is up with all of you fine folks this week? What are some stories that you guys are looking at or things that you think are interesting that have happened in the last week? Because, like I said, I did not mean to do that rant, but man, that was interesting. See, you're leaving me hanging, chat. This is why I need to properly plan for the show. That way I don't have awkward silences and I just sit here and I'm like, awesome. I'm so glad for you, Maji-chan. I'm so ready for the book. I'm so freaking ready for this book. It's going to be great. I've been wanting to look into how and where the enthusiasm is for a lot of like the indie scene in and around the Iron Age, because even people that I know that would talk about it before, they don't really talk about it anymore, and it seems to have tapered off. It seems that like the enthusiasm around that's tapered off over the years, and I am wondering how that's doing. And I kind of want to like go into like, it just seemed like such a flash in the pan. Like there are a lot of people here like, oh, Iron Age, totally, like, but it was like the people who were really enthusiastic about it but it never gained momentum and grew. And I've been thinking about, but I don't even know how I would look into that and research that, because the thing is like it's hard to even search. It's hard to even search stuff like that. Like I know Razor Fist has tried doing a couple of like Iron Age live streams, and you go look at those metrics, and the videos, just those live streams just did not look like they did well at all. And that was one of the things that I started seeing on my channel, is the more I was talking about like the Iron Age, it just nothing. People did not show up for those videos in the alternative media. And it's why you started seeing me like a year and a half ago at this point, be like, this movement. I mean, people still believe in like, you know, what it stood for, but it's like, it didn't catch fire. It was a flash in the pan. There was a small crowd of people on the internet that were super interested in it. I mean, the Comicsgate stuff, I think there are still some streams going on, but I know that's all dying out. Comics and books in and of themselves are just on a downward trajectory. And it's interesting. Hell, video games are on a downward trajectory. Movies are on a downward trajectory. Just everything is on a downward trajectory. Now that could be because, you know, the government is fiddle fucking our economy, and you know that's super awesome. But again, it just the drama killed it from within. Probably manga and anime are on the rise. Yeah, that's true. Wait, is manga and anime still climbing? I know there's been a couple of rough seasons. Usually I get into 2 or 3 anime every season since I've been starting to watch anime. I don't even think, well, no, I guess My Hero Academia is doing the final season, but I already know how that ends. But like, there's nothing out this season of anime. So for the fall season, because we're about to go into the winter season, which I'm hoping Shangri-La Frontier and Freerun come back, because I'd be down to watch those too. Demon Slayer and Chainsaw Man box office numbers statistically say so. I've actually wanted to go see that. I have heard those movies are it's expected to triple in the next 5 years. Whoa! Demon Slayer was one of the biggest movies in the US. I wanted to go see that with the kids. We didn't have the money. I'd be like, you're going to take your kids to see Demon Slayer? Yeah, because Demon Slayer's not bad. Demon Slayer they have some fan servicey, like, you know, scantily dressed women, but they don't do anything overtly bad, you know. But yeah, my kids love Demon Slayer. It's already at 1 billion. What? What was it? Demon Slayer box office 2025. Infinity Castle. has become a global box office phenomenon in 2025, shattering records and emerging as one of the highest grossing films of the year. The film opened to a massive 70 million, okay, not bad, in North America in September 2025, marking the biggest opening weekend for an anime film and setting a new benchmark for the genre. As of November 4th, the movie has grossed approximately $670 million worldwide, with its final earnings potentially rising significantly following its upcoming release in China November 14th, which could push it. It's going to reach $1 billion. It's going to reach $1 billion. Godzilla Minus Zero was announced today. Looking forward to that one. I never got into the Godzilla films. I tried. I don't know. I miss my action films. I like my action films. I think that's why I like a lot of anime now, is because there's just a lot out there that's just got a lot of great action. That is insane. Demon Slayer is just in a different league when it comes to animation. Although not my favorite anime. My favorite anime in an ongoing series is Shangri-La Frontier, and it gets no love. It gets no love. I love Shangri-La Frontier. They have some of the best intro music in anime, period. Like their last 3 intro song, 4, 3, 4, 3, doesn't matter. Bangers, every single one of them. Did watch Windbreaker season 2, up until they introduced the tranny, and then I was out. I was like, this is supposed to be the Windbreaker season 2. Like, this is supposed to be an anime about young boys finding brotherhood, this, that, and the other thing. And they literally spent like 2 or 3 episodes explaining how this boy feels like a girl and has to dress in a skirt. And I was just like, I'm out. I'm done. Nope. Ninja Scroll is number 1. Ninja Scroll. Yeah, I'm like, no, I don't care. Like, I started watching Windbreaker because there was a lot of stuff in it. I was like, wow, I get this as a guy. You know what I don't get as a guy? Wanting to dress up like a fucking girl. Don't understand that. Just not my demographic. My boy was going to watch it. It's not my boy, like, he hasn't talked about it in a while. I'm sure my boy was just like, my boy probably got to that and was probably just like, yeah, we're just not. Because I don't, yeah. Last time I was Clevitas. Clevitas was fun. I like Clevitas. Did you ever watch anime I sent you twice? No, we didn't. Are kids clean and things disappear, Maji? We have to find it again. Remember, my kids lost a freaking comic book for like 6 months. Oh, it was wild. Clevitas was. I like Clevitas. Clevitas was interesting. I really liked Clevitas. So what was another? Is there another one out there that I liked this year? I don't remember. I do remember liking Clevitas. Was there anything winter? What came out in the winter season? I still think what's the dude? Goes out Solo Leveling. Love Solo Leveling. That was winter, right? That was winter season. Solo Leveling was good. Don't know how I feel about Kaiju number 8. I know that was newer. God, there just hasn't been a lot. Yeah. I think the dude made him trans. He was just gay in the subbed. I don't care one way or the other. And I'm sorry if you're, whether you're a cross-dresser or like, I don't identify with that as a guy. Like the Windbreakers was about young men coming together in brotherhood, finding their way and kind of doing it. And just, you just introduce a character like that. It's like, as a guy, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Why? Like, just, yeah. Haven't had time to sit down and actually consume entertainment between day job and the channel and a variety of living history activities and what I'm told is free time. Right? And I've cleared up a lot of my free time lately, which has been very, very good for me. But yeah, it's Windbreakers. God, dude, I was so pumped about Windbreakers, and yeah, it was bad. I just stop. It's like we cannot keep fostering mental illness in the world, and people just want to keep doing it. It's to every degree, to every level. I've always looked at, people need to be, they need to craft themselves. They need to go through things. They need to be sharpened, right? And most people are not sharpened. Most people are just going out there in the world, just these dull things, trying to be something that they're not, And I don't know. I'm not about it. I'm just not. It's not how I raise my kids. It's not. I don't praise mental illness. I don't. It's horrible. But oh well. And when crap like that comes up in a show, I just dip. I just freaking dip. The one times that a joke was made like that I thought was absolutely hilarious was in Shangri-La Frontier. And it's because a guy character, because they're doing this, they're playing this very interactive video game, and one of the guy characters, the side characters, plays a female avatar in the game. And the NPC in the game refers to the character as a girl, and he goes, "Actually, it's a guy." And the NPC character was like, "What?" He was like, "Well, sometimes people on the outside aren't how they are in their head," because the NPC and it was really funny, because I know people who will go out and be like, "I'm going to play a female character in a game." And I find it so funny because Shangri-La Frontier does it so well. There's one character who is this, I don't know, small child of a girl. And the voice that comes out of this character is like a deeply spoken, wise 60-year-old man. And you're just like, that would happen in a video game. And I don't like it. Oh. Of course, you stick to your morals. It's one of the reasons I respect you. Dude, I try. And not everybody sticks to their morals 100%. And everybody's got their sins, and everybody's got their stuff that they go through, and everybody has their stuff that they struggle with, and everybody has the things that eat away at them at night. Everybody does. Everybody does, right? And I do my best. And I talk about a lot of the things that I see outwardly, like in the YouTube world, that I'm like, okay, cool. Like, that's the stuff I don't want to do, right? Venom Mills. I've never understood staring at your character in a video game. Like, if I'm playing a video game, usually I'm focused on the road ahead or like the fights. The way that I explain it is I didn't play with Barbie dolls as a kid, and I don't play with female characters in video games as a man. I just don't. As I look at it as kind of the same thing. I don't play female-led video games. I don't like it. Makes me feel uncomfortable. Not about that life. That's where I'm at. And a lot of people go, "Oh my gosh, but you're missing out on so many great games." I'd be like, I don't care. I don't care. I don't play female characters. Like, I potentially would have made an exception for Ghost of Yotei had the game superseded the first game, but what I'm hearing is Ghost of Yotei is a more Ghost of Tsushima with a crappier story and crappier characters, which is like 2/3 of that game. So, yeah. But yeah, no, I think Shangri-La Frontier makes some great jokes in that regard about dudes playing female characters. It's just so funny. It's just so great. I love Shangri-La Frontier. Dr. Stone, too. Dr. Stone's getting ready to, I think they're going to do 3 90-minute movies to wrap up the Dr. Stone story. So that's super cool. Very, very excited to see that. New Dragon Ball coming in 2026. We're going to see Watch Dragon Ball Daima. I know that was one of the last things that Toriyama worked on. Didn't really like Daima that much. It's doing some more retcon bullshit because Toriyama can't remember what the fuck he... that's God bless that man. Really, I mean, Toriyama gave us just amazing childhoods with Dragon Ball. But I need to be really, really honest here. The guy doesn't remember what the fuck he wrote half the time. And it's like, on one hand, this is his thing. It's his baby. He created it. On the other hand, how much of a fuck did he care? Because, dude, he didn't even remember that he made Broly movies. I heard there was a rumor. He didn't even remember that he made Broly. He was like, oh, I think I remember doing that character. I don't remember what the fuck none of that was about. And it's like, okay, that's a minor one, but then there's, it makes me sad because Toriyama, God rest his soul. I mean, my boy, Vegeta, that's my boy back there, Vegeta. But, I can't. Sometimes I'm just like, man, do you actually care about Dragon Ball and the thing that you created? Because it seems like you forget a lot of what you wrote. Well, if it's a rumor, it must be true. No, there were interviews and like in the interview booklets that people were getting with the Dragon Ball Z stuff, that some of the stuff was like, yeah, it wasn't just like rumor. But, and again, not the first time that's happened in history. It's happened multiple times throughout the years. It was very, very interesting. So, yeah. And there were people who, people had to like remind him. That's why there are issues with the lore of Dragon Ball, is because he just kind of forget what he wrote and just kind of make some shit up, especially after the Boo arc. Just posted a video out of New Bill trying to ban VPNs. Oh yeah, of course they're going to try to do that. No, they've been trying to ban VPNs for a while. Like, they can't lock down the internet if you still have a VPN. They do not want a free and open internet. They don't want it. And here's the thing. Eventually, they're going to lock it down so much that guess where people are going to go? People are just going to go to the dark web. And they're just going to be on the dark web watching YouTube. Like, that's what they're going to do. The reason Super Saiyan hair is golden is so they didn't have to fill it in the manga. No, that's exactly why it was, gold in the show, but in the manga was black and white. And so they just made the hair, they didn't want to color in the hair. And so they were just like, just leave it gold. Dark YouTube, right? Dark YouTube. Yeah, that could be construed bad. Is that racist? Is that? Never mind. Oh, that joke could get me fucking banned. Oh, goodness. Dark tube is already a thing. I don't know this stuff. Oh, my goodness. Oh, man. Oh, guys, I think I am going to go chill for the rest of the night. I need to get back to a point where I have the stamina to stream for like 2 or 3 hours again. But I've got to prepare. You can be taught. I don't want to be taught. Dead tube is manga, very graphic. No, why? I don't know if I want to do that. Why? Why would you? Why are you guys trying to corrupt me? This is a Christian Minecraft server. And you guys are trying to corrupt me. How dare you? I was a good boy until I met all of you people. Whatever. What? Oh, God. I was joking. You say that. I don't know what's a joke from you people. Are you kidding me? Some of the things that you guys have said over the years have scarred me. I will never be the same. Do you understand? There was Royce before the shit that you guys say. And now there's Royce after, and they're different people. Royce from before wouldn't even look at Royce now. It's all because of you, chat. It's all because of you. God. I love the fuck out of you guys. You guys are so cool. Oh, man. Thursday night. Gonna have to find some stories for Thursday. Second era Royce, yeah. You became a little less gay. Fuck you, Liu. Also, order food service, all controlling are my default. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, God. We've reached a new Royce epoch. Oh, God. Well, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned in the Discord. Drop some stuff you want me to cover on Thursday. And as always, until next time, cheers, everybody.